All right, what's up, everyone? Thanks for checking in with another Loners. If you've been jumping over to the vlog channel, we really appreciate it. I appreciate it more than Linda does, but
Okay.
just letting you guys know.
Yeah, because you put so much effort into it.
I do.
0.
That's 0. God. Anyway, we hope you've been enjoying our videos if you've been watching them, these two. I also wanted to say some of the comments on the other one were like, you guys don't, if you don't understand British humor, don't even try and all this stuff. And I'm like, whatever. I'm like, we
Which
did think
one was
those were
that?
funny. The last one we did, the funny commercials.
I don't remember. Oh. Sorry. Oh my God. You guys are so right. We're horrible. We suck.
No,
We don't
but
understand British humor. If you're going to criticize us not understanding British humor, then explain it.
yeah.
Explain it to me.
Also-
my little bird brain, my little American bird brain can't understand how
Okay.
insanely funny.
Episode number 87. Roll that intro. All right, guys. So today we're doing how are German kids different than American kids? Are the parents different? This is by someone, their channel is called Haley Alexis. And I'm guessing they've been living in Germany or something. But I'll put the original down below. And also jump over to our vlog channel and like and subscribe too. Okay, guys? All right. Let's go.
Hi everyone, what is up? My name is Haley. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you did not know, now you do. Hey you guys, what's up? So in today's video, y'all, I'm going to be talking about how kids are different in Germany and how parenting is different in Germany. I feel like these are two different topics, but they sort of like mesh together. And yeah, these are just things that I have observed. I'm not a parent. I don't have kids, so I don't have like personal experience, but I have personal observation experience because I have worked in kindergartens. I've been around a lot of children and a lot of different families and a lot of different parents. So with all that being said, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. The lady that I worked for, she said, "Hey Haley, I'm going to get coffee with my friend. Would you like to come with?" And her friend just had a baby and she showed up with her little stroller with her little baby sleeping in the stroller. And I was like, "Oh, how cute. No, it's so cute that you're bringing the baby to the cafe to get some coffee and kuchen." And the baby was knocked out, you guys. This baby was in La La Land. And the woman, she just leaves and goes in the cafe. And I'm just like, okay, did the lady that I work for literally bring me here to watch someone else's kid? Like, I was like, they really want me to stand out here in the cold, in the winter, next to the stroller while they go inside and drink coffee. I'm like, that's really rude. The lady knocked on the window and was like, "Come inside." And I was like, and she's looking at me like, what the hell am I pointing at? And I'm like doing the motion of picking up the baby and she's like, and I'm like, and she's like, "No." And then she comes out and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What are you doing leaving your baby on the street?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? What do you mean? Someone could grab this little baby. It's just laying here. Strangers walking past. This is a busy road. Someone snatch your baby up, hide your kids, hide your wife, because they're snatching every baby out here in Germany." She's like looking at the lady that I worked for like, "You brought this woman with you to this coffee shop and she's talking about my baby getting kidnapped?" It happened often. I will not say all the time and that everyone did it, but it wasn't uncommon to see a random stroller with a random baby in it on the side of like the sidewalk or the road somewhere, or you know, in front of a store.
Wait, that's pretty interesting. Is that a normal thing where you guys are from, or wherever, that like people will leave their kids outside the place that they're going into? Because here, people would have been calling child services in a second,
Yeah.
or kidnapping the kid.
That would definitely be. People are not just out there kidnapping kids out of strollers. They're not. Okay.
You sure about that?
I would like to think so. Would I leave my kid out there? No. Especially because she said it was cold. Like, that would be a concern of mine.
That is, I guess that's a
I'm
good
sure
point.
the
Yeah.
kid had a blanket and a jacket or something, but still. I don't know if it's the same thing in Australia, but when we were there, do you remember when we were looking for somewhere to eat when we went to Manly Beach? Someone left their kid. Remember we went to that cookie spot that had the ice cream that you got?
Yes.
Okay, someone like left their kid in a stroller like outside, and I remember my brother commented on it. I was like, what the hell? Don't know if it's common there because that was the only time we saw it.
Maybe there's just less kidnappings.
But I also, this isn't the first time I've heard this. I feel like another video we saw that
Mention that?
yeah, a while back.
I don't know. You let us know if you think that's normal. I mean, clearly it is in Germany, but wherever you guys are from, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't just because I'm paranoid.
I mean, I wouldn't either, yeah. But
Hey, maybe.
you know, it's not, you never see that in America because people will instantly start recording. They'll be like, "Ooh, look at this parent."
Yeah.
It'll be like a whole viral thing.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't. Yeah, you're gonna get shamed.
Yeah,
if you do that here.
exactly. Yeah.
And the reasoning behind this, she told me, I mean, this was her reason. I don't know if this is the real reason why people do it, but she said that it took her so long to wrap the baby in all of its like winter clothes. And so when the baby slept, you know, it got fresh air. It was cool to him. Like the temperature outside was cool, but his body temperature underneath everything is relatively warm, and he sleeps the best this way. And so it's better to just leave him there than take him out, wake him up most likely, take off all of his clothes, and then have to re-put them on, redress him when they leave the cafe. And so I thought that was very interesting. This is something that happens all over Europe.
Sorry, I'm reading. I mean,
Yeah, I figured. So it's a smaller.
I know that a lot of people, or some people, do this in the United States in their, like, the privacy of their home. It doesn't necessarily happen in Florida, because if you leave your baby outside in Florida, it will die. The next point is going to be something that is a hit and a miss. I know that some people, like Germans, are going to disagree with me, but I've seen this a handful of times here. And it is that people will bring their children to bars. And I think it's because the bar culture in Germany is different, and also the alcohol culture is different here as well. And so when I compare it to the United States, where I used to work, I've worked in I think like 3 or 4 different restaurants, and all of those, I think 3 out of 4 of them, had bars, meaning you could sit at the bar and drink alcohol, or you could sit in the bar area, which wasn't directly like chairs around a bar, but there were maybe tables or booths surrounding the bar. And some restaurants that I worked at wouldn't even let people with kids sit there. There are some restaurants that I have been to in the United States that allow children to sit there, but the ones that I worked at wasn't allowed unless they were 18 or older. But if you came with your baby and you like wanted to sit at the bar or near the bar, we usually, our hostesses would have to say, sorry, we're not allowed to seat you there. And so when I came to Germany and I just saw kids, you know, openly around alcohol in public, at restaurants, at bars, I was shocked, a little judgmental, because I'm like, what are y'all doing with your kids? Like, around alcohol and bringing them to the bar like this. It's totally chill in Germany and relaxed when it comes to kids and alcohol. Also because the drinking age is...
I mean, I've never really, I guess I never took the time to think like, are there kids running around the bar area in restaurants?
I mean, I thought that was common sense here. Like, you just don't bring a kid near the bar.
But even if it's in a restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let us know if that's like no one really gives a shit wherever you guys are from.
I feel like you're not around kids as much as I am, because I have a lot of kids in my family. So I'm used to, if we go out to eat, like, they don't even offer you to sit at the bar if they see a kid with you.
Yeah, I guess that's a good
Only
point.
if
Yeah.
there's no kids.
Yeah. Huh.
16 here, depending on what you're drinking, and in the United States it's 21. And I always find this to be so crazy when I see little children, literally 16-year-olds, drinking beer, and I'm like, are y'all allowed to do that? And then in the United States, I get carded if I want to buy one little beer can at the grocery store or something, or at the gas station. And I also think that in Germany, they like to expose children at an early age to like the real world. Like,
Damn.
everyone, not everyone, but a big majority of people are drinking. They may not be alcoholics, but they are consuming alcohol. And you're going to come into contact with this regardless if you do drink alcohol or don't drink alcohol. And never understand now, since living in Germany, the big hush hush regarding alcohol in the United States. It's a little weird in my opinion, because I've talked about this before. You can buy guns at 18, you can go fight in the military, you know, give up your life. But as soon as you want to buy one little beer and you're 20 years old, go to jail. jail. The next point is going to be eating
Yeah.
vegetables.
It is weird.
Free will, like not being forced, y'all. One
Yeah,
thing
I will just comment on that too. Like seeing the maturity of allowing drinking at a younger age in other countries, it just makes sense because it over here it makes, I feel like it makes them become way more like once they turn 21, a lot of people will just go like nuts drinking, especially in college. And then I noticed in other countries, I saw this like picture, it was like a meme that like, oh, like other countries when they're turning 21, they're like, oh, I'm over like my drinking phase because I started at 16. And then now Americans are like, yeah, we can finally drink, like let's get fucked up. It's just funny.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I mean, I don't know if in other countries that have like 16 and up, if they look forward to their 16th birthday, like is it popular to be like, oh, you're turning 16,
You can
time
drink
to
now.
get drunk?
But
Because here they make it a big deal when you turn 21 because they're like, oh, you can finally legally drink. And
Yeah.
people go to Vegas, people go, I don't know what the East Coast does.
They just make it Atlantic City or something. But yeah, yeah.
I don't know, Miami, I don't know. But they make it a huge deal here, and
They do.
I don't know. I was gonna say maybe that's capitalism, but I wouldn't want to push it that far.
Yeah.
not being forced, y'all. One thing that shocked me, which is a little like going off of this point, when I came to Germany and I started eating food, like not eating foods, when I started going to restaurants and stuff and like just trying out different types of restaurants and getting
Boiled
vegetables that
potatoes.
were uncommon, let's say, because you go to the United States, you eat at a restaurant, you're gonna have like a vegetable medley of broccoli, squash, carrots, throw in a zucchini, you know, asparagus is big, cauliflower is big, very basic vegetables, you know, throwing a corn on the cob there as well. And some areas, you know, you have more so than other, like in Florida, we have okra, but we fry it. And I feel like all of our vegetables, we fry, we deep fry. We have deep fried green beans, we have deep fried cauliflower, we have deep fried corn, we have deep fried everything. So that's not really healthy. I'm talking about a raw vegetable or fruit, literally eating that by itself. And so when I came to Germany, there was this little kid that I used to watch like randomly on the weekends. His mom would want to go out and she'd be like, could you come watch my son? I'd be like, fine, no big deal. So one day she called me, hey Haley, come over. And then she's like, you know what? I have everything in the fridge. You know, I have frozen pizza. I made like spaghetti the other day. I made all of this stuff. Just ask him what he wants to eat and then, you know, make something. I love parents like this because I'm like, so you don't mind if I give your kid a frozen pizza, we eat ice cream, cookies, and chips, and, you know, watch a movie, and that's okay with you? So I go to the little kid all excited. I'm like, hey, your mom told me that we have frozen pizza. And he's like looking at me, and he's like, yeah, I think I want like a Butterbrot, a butter bread with radishes. And I looked, and I was like, excuse me? Your mom said you have frozen pizza and cookies. He's like, no, maybe some cucumbers too. And I'm like, sir, we have everything available here. I can literally call McDonald's and have them delivered, call Burger King and they can deliver a Whopper and fried onion rings to our doorstep right now. This little boy would not budge, you guys. So what did I do? I went to the kitchen and I cut up some radishes and I put it on some Butterbrot. And so the next point is going to be outside activities, and I don't really know how.
That's interesting. That's a huge difference than here. I mean, maybe some families here, it's like you see like they taught their kids to eat that instead at a young age, but
I'm just surprised the mom offered so many like
unhealthy things.
Yeah, or just like other options, and then was like,
maybe it's because she knows she's American and she's like familiar with that.
I could see that.
No, honestly, I mean, it would make kind of sense, but
yeah, that would make sense.
good on that kid for doing that. I know, like, I don't know anyone at that who was a kid who would have chosen that.
Absolutely
I wouldn't choose
not.
that. I don't think I've tried radishes.
I don't think you would like them.
Yeah. All right. Let's continue.
To go over this properly, but in Germany, when you do an activity for, let's say, daycare or school, a lot of times it is outsourced to a different location. And I don't know the reason why. I'm assuming it's because of how small Germany is, so their schools aren't as massive and as huge as like stuff in the United States, so they don't have the ability to offer everything in-house. I used to work at a kindergarten, a daycare that was only 3 rooms. That was it. and there were like a lot of kids, and everything that we did, we usually had to go outside somewhere else to do. We didn't have a pool, we didn't have a playground, we didn't have anything at the daycare except for like books and toys and a little mini kitchen to make stuff in. That was it. And I also worked at daycares in Germany that offered everything available to mankind. You know, 3-story, 4-story buildings, they have a whole bunch of kids, they have their own playground, but still, even then, you had to go somewhere else to do other things, or they would tell someone else to come. They would outsource it in the sense that they would hire someone to come and do, let's say, yoga, instruments. I don't know what else there is that people outsourced or got people to come in to do. And it's not random to see groups of children just walking in the woods, walking on the side of the street, taking public transportation, just out and about in the real world, which is something that is not common in the United States at all, unless you're going on a field trip.
I'm guessing she's talking about like younger kids, maybe like probably 10, 11, 12. I mean, maybe 12. 12 you see kids here by themselves kind of, but not really, I guess.
I would say you would see them more school buses and stuff. You're not
Well,
going
no,
to
that's
see
what
them
I'm
in
saying.
public transportation alone. People love to shame parents, especially mothers out here. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. But I think it might just come down to the kidnapping again. Like,
It did say that it says it's not non-existent, which I guess, I mean, it happens a little bit, but it's like nowhere compared to how much it happens in the U.S.
yeah, it's kind of scary to think about. Like, it's part of the reason I don't want kids. But as far as like seeing kids kind of out and about, like you're not. It's not like that.
You don't see that anywhere.
People would
here,
be
really.
like, "Where is your parent?"
Yeah, even in the richer areas too, you don't really see that because people get kind of weirded out if they'll see like a group of like 10-year-olds walking
It's
around.
just frowned upon. Like,
Yeah.
your parents should be with you if you're out and about.
Yeah.
You're,
But we did
because
hear
people are nuts. Like, people are. I'm
Yeah.
not even a child, and I could see how I feel unsafe sometimes. I can't imagine
Yeah.
a kid like just going out.
But it's like not where you would say every day we're going to go outside of our daycare, or every day we're taking a trip 1 mile away or walking 1 mile down the street to go do something. That's just something that does not happen in the United States. The last and final point, you guys, is going to be a big point, and this is going to be something that, I do this to myself, you guys, when I talk about these topics. But in Germany, the kids learn about their history, an in-depth history, a gruesome history, a dark history,
Oh, damn.
something that I've never experienced in the United States. And so I remember when I first got here to Munich, I took a trip by myself to Dachau. I don't know why, you guys. I just wanted to go to a concentration camp because I was like, I'm in Germany. This is like what I've been taught in school. I'm literally a train ride away, less than an hour away. Let me just go one day. And so I went by myself to Dachau. And to my surprise, I saw multiple groups, like school groups of kids aged, I would say maybe 14 to 16, 17, give or take. I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, are we just gonna allow kids to walk through concentration camps like this? Like, is this normal? I don't know. This is not normal in the United States. We don't walk through plantation homes. In Florida, especially where I lived, we had plantation homes, we had plantations, we had sugarcane fields that were ran, operated by slaves. We never, ever took a trip there. Never once in my life did I even know until
this is an interesting point too. And I think it's because maybe people there in Germany kind of take accountability more of what happened, and will just be like, yes, this happened and it is a shameful and bad thing, but we don't want to try to hide it. Like it did happen. It's a real thing.
Yeah, I know here people like to, I think that the reason they don't make that a point, and I'm sure there's many reasons, I feel like they try to make it seem like slavery was like so long ago that there's just no historical evidence of these places anymore.
Yeah, but
And when it really wasn't that long ago.
it wasn't, and it was a huge part of the American history. Even if it wasn't good, it was a part of it. And I think that at least acknowledging it would be like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it would be also when we were in Australia recently, we went to a museum there, and it clearly states many times how like the Aborigines and the people that were naturally there got like attacked multiple times by like white men and other stuff. Like it states just things happened how they happened. And that was something that like we don't really see that too much in stuff here where they talk about that past, like about America.
I mean, we definitely learn about it in school, but it's whitewashed. Like,
Yeah.
you're not learning
The
gruesome parts.
details, yeah.
It's kind of, yeah, I don't know. It's not.
I just think they like to hide the little stuff that makes them look bad more.
Or they try to paint it like, look how far we've come.
Yeah.
Look at us. We're so great now.
Like we don't need to think about that anymore.
Instead of like, no, this was like horrific parts of
our history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when they talk about Europeans coming here, they make it seem like they just sat down and had this like,
Yeah, I know.
This wholesome turkey dinner with each other.
I know, that is so weird.
They paint.
You know,
we literally dressed up as pilgrims and
Yeah.
Native Americans.
Yeah.
In school.
Yep.
When we learned about that as kids, like
That is so weird. Why
it's
don't they
kinda
just
weird.
kind of tell us like, hey, this
I
happened?
bet you they still don't.
No,
go
probably
into
not.
detail.
That is really strange. Yeah, that is strange.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious when like my niece and your niece get older.
If it's gonna be the same.
And just to hear what their perspective is of what they're learning in school. You
Yeah.
know, it's weird.
High school or college did I find out that we had all of these places so close to where I went to school. And I think this is an amazing thing
Especially
that
'cause
Germany
she's
does.
from-
I think that this should happen in the United States as well. I know in some places they do put more emphasis on our history and the dark parts of our history, but in modern day, the United States right now, we're trying to get rid or sugarcoat the things and make it seem like
Yeah.
everything was rainbows and sunshine and everyone got along and there were no slaves. They were people that made a minimum wage, and we try to like cover things up instead of actually saying, yeah, we effed up, we did this, we did that, it wasn't
Yeah.
good, we killed a bunch of people, we harmed a bunch of people, we created a lot of problems, by doing this, and here it is. But we don't do that. And
Because I'm just going to say it. I truly think that a lot of the, like, even politicians or just, I don't know, groups of people here, if they could go back in time, they would not change it. They would, like, there's people who still think slavery should exist nowadays.
I mean, yeah.
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. And honestly, that it's almost impossible to know if the people that are in charge of the country still think that way, because they wouldn't say it, unless they're around other people that agree. But
I mean, there are people, I think there's generations that are still alive who, like, their parents were slaves.
yeah,
Maybe. Or grandparents.
We're
I'm not
getting
talking about people our age. I'm
no, I
talking
know.
about like older people.
Yeah, we're getting close to where
We're
there's
not
gonna be like
that
no
far
more.
away from this shit happening.
Yeah, I agree. It's a strange thing. I just think that sugarcoating it, like she's saying, and doing stuff like that, it doesn't do anything good for people, because then they're just like, it doesn't show the reality of what happened. And I think people would be more empathetic to things if they understood at a younger age.
Well, I think it would also force a lot of policies to change, which, white people benefit off of. And it's like, you can't be hypocritical. You can't say this is where we fucked up, but we benefit off oppressing certain groups of people. So if you can't like take accountability and not do something about it.
Yeah,
So
I guess that's true.
They just kind of choose to,
Yeah.
like she was saying, gloss over it and be like, look at, everybody gets along here.
That's true.
That's bullshit.
You know what? Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine.
so when I think back of my upbringing and my education, and I know that there are going to be a lot of Americans that say, well, that's just you and that's not representative of the United States and that's not my upbringing. Perfectly fine. Make your own video talking about your upbringing. But for me, I knew more, or I was like told more about Nazi Germany than the history of Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. I want to read this for a second. Damn, she went to New York and she lived in Florida. Oh, never mind.
Damn, I didn't know New York had the largest unearthed burial ground for free and enslaved African descendants.
Also, there was a lot of statues of a lot of fucking bigots that
Yeah, I know.
we still have up today. I know during like the protests, people were knocking them down.
I remember that. Yeah.
But we still praise some of the most racist leaders in history. Like we learn more about them, but we learn about them in like a
Yes, it's because
like
there's a large group of people who like to be like, well, they took chances and they did things and they made progress and stuff like that.
yeah, but at what expense? I'm not saying every.
No, I know what you
I'm saying
mean.
everyone
Yeah.
was bad, but
Yeah.
like plantations and slavery and just everything that happened in my own state, in my own backyard, like literally a hop, skip, and a rock throw away. I learned more about something that was 5,000 plus miles away than learning something that was 5 miles away. Like I said, they did teach me about slavery.
well,
but
we were part of like
World War II.
ending.
Yeah. I get that.
So I think that's the only reason we learn about it is because it paints us in like this hero.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that
But
is true.
If we played a bad part in that and we influenced
We probably wouldn't talk about it.
evil, then I don't think we would talk about it.
Yeah, that's true.
they would have made me go up, take my happy ass to a plantation home, or show me certain fields, or show me all types of other things, a museum for all I know. If they would have done this for me at a young age, it would have made such a big impact on me, and it would make me care about these issues more, or it would have made me care more about these issues growing up. But yeah, you guys, that was it. That's the end of the video. That's how I think German kids are different, or German parenting is different than American parenting and American kids. I hope you guys got a few laughs out of this video. I know some topics are more serious than others, but like I said, we're trying to, sprinkle in a little bit of lightheartedness and humor. So with all that being said, love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and bye.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think there were really good points there, and it's, things I didn't know before, and I'm like, oh, interesting.
I mean, none of it surprises me. It seems like pretty.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I've known that like things are just different, but yeah.
Wow, that was really profound, all of that. Yeah, I just know things are different. Anyway, thanks to Haley Alexis for the video. It's cool to see perspectives from people who have lived both ends of this,
Definitely.
But yeah.
If you have any recommendations, guys, of other videos, drop them in the comments, all right? We'll take a look.
I really do wish that we would, like, take trips to, like, things like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't...
Here in the U.S. Yeah, to, like, learn about the history.
We went to, like, the National History Museum when I was a kid, I think.
I mean, in New York, we have a whole museum about the Holocaust.
Yeah, I know. She was saying. I definitely feel like it's easier for like East Coast schools to like, implement a lot of that more because there's definitely more history over there.
Yeah, from Europe and other places.
But I didn't think it was like that. I also had no idea that in Germany that they are keeping the kids aware of their.
I didn't know that either.
Too.
Yeah.
I truly was shocked by that.
That's probably like I don't know if every place in Europe does that where they talk about history because I mean honestly
their own wrongdoings as well.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if a lot of other countries do that because I know most other places they all have a dark past, most of them, because of things like that where there were no laws to like take over land or do things. So
yeah, I mean humans are fucking evil.
I mean there was colonization everywhere. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video,
not all of them,
like and subscribe.
Yep, like and subscribe.
And also jump over to our blog channel, guys. Okay, we appreciate it. Let's get that baby to 1,000 subscribers. All right.
Yes, what he said. Please.
Yep. We got some more footy coming out for you guys. We noticed that we're in Australia. If any Australians out there, you guys end a lot of words in IE, like brekkie.
Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
All right. Peace, guys. Bye, loners.